Welcome to Olive Oil Insider by Olafo, the show that extracts the vital intelligence from the latest research, giving you the edge you need.
All right, let's settle a debate once and for all. Searing a steak with extra virgin olive oil, should you really be doing that? For years, a lot of us have heard it's a waste of good oil or maybe even bad for you. But what if all that advice was just wrong? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise with some real science to find out the truth about cooking with olive oil and what it means for your health. Let's get into it.
So here it is, the big question, right? This is the debate you hear everywhere, from your friend's kitchen to professional chefs on TV. We're told the smoke point is too low or that the heat will destroy all the nutrients. But what does the science actually have to say about it? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the biggest myth out there, the smoke point. We've all been taught to believe that a high smoke point is the be-all and end-all for cooking. But you know what? Science tells a totally different story. It turns out what's way more important is an oil's chemical stability. Basically, how well it can take the heat without breaking down into nasty stuff. And a huge part of that stability comes from its antioxidant content. The smoke point, it's really just one small piece of a much bigger puzzle.
So, to get some real answers, not just opinions, let's look at this incredible study out of Australia. Researchers took 10 of the most common cooking oils and really put them through the ringer. They cranked the heat all the way up to 464 degrees Fahrenheit, and in another test, they held them at deep frying temperatures for 6 straight hours. I mean, this wasn't just a gentle sauté, this was an extreme stress test.
And the results? Honestly, they were stunning. They measured something called polar compounds, which is just the scientific term for all the harmful junk that gets created when an oil breaks down. You want that number to be as low as possible. And look at this. Extra virgin olive oil came out on top, producing the least amount of harmful compounds. It was the most stable oil they tested. And then you have canola oil, which was so bad it actually produced more toxins than what's legally allowed in some countries. Think about that.
So, what's the secret sauce here? What makes EVO so tough? It really comes down to one thing: antioxidants. These amazing compounds are like tiny bodyguards, literally protecting the oil from damage when it gets hot. And extra virgin olive oil is just loaded with them. It has 18 times more than canola oil, and get this, 700 times more than coconut oil. It's not even in the same league. This antioxidant shield is what makes it so incredibly resilient.
Okay, so the results speak for themselves. But why? What's going on under the hood that makes EVOO so special? Well, it really boils down to two key things in its chemistry.
The first hero of our story is its actual fat structure. See, olive oil is primarily a monounsaturated fat. All that means is that on a molecular level, it has just one double bond. Now, polyunsaturated fats, like you find in a lot of seed oils, have multiple double bonds. You can think of those double bonds as little weak points in the chain, just waiting to break under pressure. With only one weak spot, monounsaturated fat is just built to be more stable.
And this chart right here, it shows you exactly what we're talking about. Look at that huge slice. About 73% of olive oil is that stable monounsaturated fat called oleic acid. The more fragile fats, they make up just a tiny fraction. This chemical blueprint is the real foundation of its strength in your frying pan.
All right, so that's hero number one. Hero number two is a group of compounds called polyphenols. These are those powerful antioxidants we were just talking about, nature's bodyguards. And they do a double-duty job. Not only do they keep the oil from breaking down, they also protect the vitamins and nutrients in the oil. So you're not just getting a stable oil, you're actually getting more of the good stuff into your food. And this is where the story gets really incredible, because the very same things that protect the oil in the pan, that stable fat structure and those protective polyphenols, well, they also end up protecting your body when you eat them. It's a perfect and powerful connection. Just look at the Pre-Med trial. This was a massive landmark study. What they found was that people at high risk for heart disease who added extra virgin olive oil to their diet saw a 30% reduction in things like heart attacks and strokes. I mean, stop and think about that. A 30% reduction. That's not a small change, that's a massive, life-altering impact.
So how does it pull this off? Well, it's not just one magic bullet. It's like a whole team working together to protect your heart. It helps stop your bad LDL cholesterol from oxidizing, which is a really bad first step towards clogged arteries. It also makes your blood vessels more flexible, helps bring down blood pressure, and just generally calms down inflammation all over your body. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some fringe health blog idea. The National Institutes of Health, the NIH, points to EVOO as a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet and calls out its robust cardiovascular benefits, linking them right back to its unique composition. This is the real deal.
And it's not just in the US. Over in Europe, the Food Safety Authority has made it official. They've actually approved a health claim that says the polyphenols in olive oil protect your blood lipids, things like cholesterol, from oxidative damage. This is a stamped and approved, officially recognized health benefit.
Okay, so we're all on board, right? EVO is a champion for cooking and for your health, but, and this is a big but, none of this matters if you're not buying and storing it the right way. So let's quickly bust a couple of common myths so you can get the most out of every drop. First myth, color. We've all done it, right? We see that deep, rich green oil and we think, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Well, nope. The color really just depends on the type of olive and how ripe it was. It tells you absolutely nothing about the quality, the flavor, or how many antioxidants it has. So you can't judge an oil by its color.
Okay, this next one is so important. Please remember this. Olive oil is not wine. It does not get better with age. It's the complete opposite. You have to think of it like it's fresh squeezed fruit juice. It's at its absolute best with the most flavor and health benefits right after it's made. Time is its enemy.
So what's the game plan? It's actually really simple. First, buy a bottle size that you know you'll use up within a couple of months after you open it. Second, look for a harvest date on the bottle. The fresher, the better. And last, store it in a cool, dark place. The pantry's great, keep it away from the stove, and yes, even the fridge is fine. It might get cloudy, but it won't harm the oil one bit.
So when you put it all together, what's the bottom line? Extra virgin olive oil is not some fragile, delicate ingredient you can only use for salad dressing. It is a workhorse. It's versatile, it's incredibly stable under heat, and it's packed with profound health benefits. From a high-heat sear to a finishing drizzle, it really is your kitchen's MVP.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Now that you know the science behind it, are you going to use olive oil differently? Are you finally going to reach for that bottle to roast your vegetables or sear a piece of fish? The science is in. The evidence is clear.